Welcome to another edition of the Agents of Inclusion podcast, brought to you by Special Olympics and Odyssey. I'm JR of the JR Sport Brief Show on CBS Sports Radio. We want everyone to be more inclusive through their actions and for the betterment of society. It's pretty awesome to bring people together through sports, and new episodes drop every Wednesday, so go ahead, hit the subscribe button, and follow. And for this episode, we're going to check in with Ben Collins. He's been an athlete with Special Olympics for more than 40 years. He's been an employee of Special Olympics International for more than 30 years. And with that comes a lot of experiences and advice. His status as an employee also comes with a special designation that we're going to learn about shortly. And you know what? I didn't even get into his photographic memory. And let's see if I can stump him. Let's go to Maryland and chat with Ben Collins. It's another edition of the Agents of Inclusion podcast, and this time we're going out to Maryland to check in with Special Olympics Maryland athlete Ben Collins, who also happens to be an employee with Special Olympics International. So many things to get into. Ben, first of all, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, JR. How about yourself, my friend?
I got no complaints. There's so many things that I want to get into, but first I want to establish how long you've been participating with Special Olympics. So I got a two-part question here. How long have you been a Special Olympics athlete?
43 years with Special Olympics Maryland.
That's amazing. And how long have you been employed by Special Olympics?
I've been working at Special Olympics International for 31 years.
That's amazing. And I know you guys had a surprise party and everything for the 30th last year. How does that feel, 30 years participating as a worker, as an employee with Special Olympics?
It makes me feel very great and wonderful and excited to be employed with a great and wonderful organization. And like a family atmosphere. The people are very friendly, and I'll go in like a very friendly atmosphere.
That's awesome. And there's even a more important designation that comes with your employment. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you were the first athlete with an intellectual disability to be hired by Special Olympics. Is that correct?
That is correct, JR. That is very true and correct. Back in November 1991.
November 1991. So for anyone who's not familiar with your job, what do you do?
I work in the marketing communications department. I do donor calls every week when I call people and thank them for the generous donation to Special Olympics. And I have a running total to do so many calls I do in a year. At the end of the year, I do Thanksgiving calls and the holiday calls to thank the people who donate money through the year to Special Olympics.
That's awesome, man. So how did you end up with that gig? Well, let's go back even further. Now that we know that you work for Special Olympics and you've been a participant as an athlete now, you said for how many years? 43?
43.
That's amazing, man. How did you get involved with Special Olympics as an athlete?
The first, I got involved with Special Olympics through the PE teacher at school. I went through special ed school all my life till the age of 21. She introduced me to Special Olympics because I had a PE class, and they taught me she told me about Special Olympics. She gave me like a form, and I went to the first practice for Special Olympics. And the first sport I did was swimming and track and field.
Swimming and track and field. And for anyone who isn't watching the podcast or anyone who might just be listening, you're visually impaired, man. You're able to do all of this and have participated through all these sports despite that.
Correct.
No, I just think it's amazing, man. And so I've seen you participate in not just those sports, but over the years, I've seen you with bocce. I've seen you do powerlifting. So what is your favorite sport to participate in?
I like powerlifting, bocce, and I used to do sailing. When I used to sail backwards, and people were they look at me sailing backwards on the Hobie Cat. I got to run the tiller on the Hobie Cat.
Man, you're better than me, man. I've never been sailing. Never, ever. I got work to do to catch up with you. That's what I need to do. So fill me in here. You've had all of those sports that you've participated in. You're currently an employee with Special Olympics. Do you have a favorite memory that stands out to you, whether it be as an athlete or as an employee?
My favorite highlight one with the Seattle in 2018 for the USA national game in Seattle, Washington. It was the first time I got to compete outside the state of Maryland.
Why was that experience so important to you to go out to Seattle and do that out of state?
It was the first time I got to compete, learn, meet other athletes, and meet meet a lot of new friendship, bonding, and camaraderie with other good athletes who have intellectual disabilities.
So with this experience with making friends, how is that how's that been a positive for your life, being able to just meet all these different folks from all over the country?
You just go and talk to them. You just say your name and you start have a conversation. Break the you break the ice. Have like a ice break like a ice breaking. Like you break the ice you're just trying to be friendly, make them feel good inside about themselves.
Now, I love it, man. And for your job and what you do, communicating with so many of the donors, people who support Special Olympics, what's your favorite part about your job?
Um, Doing everything and meeting a lot of good, wonderful people over the years.
And so typically, especially with you being the first, and it's amazing that there are now more, what advice would you give to folks who wouldn't necessarily get an opportunity because of their disability? What would you share to them? Because we need more people to get an equal chance and opportunity. What would you say?
People need to have they need to have the opportunity to do the job. Don't put them aside. Give them a chance that they can learn and grow in their life with if they have a job. Like they can learn the skills on the job with a good, wonderful supervisors.
What have you gotten from this experience working at Special Olympics? For you personally, this opportunity, what have you gotten from it?
I had grown as a person. Learn learn a lot of learning a lot of skills. Learn how to use a computer.
So how does that work for you when you utilizing a computer or utilizing some of the equipment? How do you take care of that aspect of the job?
Um, the computer from I have a jaw system. It tells me when I'm typing. It tells me every when I'm typing. JAWS. I went to the Columbia Lighthouse for the visually impaired in Washington D.C.
And so in that program, they were able to teach you. How long were you there?
A good while. It was a long time ago. I did um computer training and typing training.
And so you're able to do the work just like anybody else, man. I think that's cool.
Yes, it is JR. 'Cause- I used to make all the braille names for everybody so I can find where they sat because I have a photographic memory.
A photographic memory?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So, what are some things that people might be surprised that you do, or that you know, or that you remember? Have you ever shocked anybody with your photographic memory?
Yeah, they want to know how I know dates without looking at the calendar.
Wow, the calendar. You know the whole calendar?
Jeff, they want to how I know dates without looking at the calendar every year.
Okay, so we are currently in
July,
June. Oh, see, there you
July,
go. You know better
July.
than me.
It's July the 6th today.
Today is July the 6th. See, I don't even know what day it is.
Thursday,
What day does Christmas fall on this year? What day of the week?
Monday.
Hold on a second. I have to. I'm gonna check
Go
this.
ahead,
Hold
man.
on.
Look it up.
Let's see. July, August, September, November. You are 100% correct. Christmas falls on Monday, the 25th of December. It's a Monday. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in time. Okay, you ready for this one?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay. My birthday is February 28th. What day did my birthday fall on? I don't even know.
For this year?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Give me a second. Let's
Okay.
see. Tuesday.
Yeah, you got it. You got it correct. You're good. You're good, Ben. And ironically, on that day, we had an interview with Loretta Claiborne, who I know you know, and so
Yes.
that is that's pretty cool. That's awesome. I wish I had a memory like that.
And then
So
there's two other athletes from Maryland you interviewed recently.
yes. I spoke to Adam.
Adam Haight
Yes, a few
and
days ago, I spoke to Adam.
and RJ.
Yes. So do me a favor, Ben. Talk to me about community. Like, how has Special Olympics helped build community between you and amongst the other athletes and just everyone?
That, that it's always good to that's having a positive outlook in life. Make you want to be. It's always going to be positive than negative. And you want to go have a positive attitude instead of being down in the dump, being sad about yourself. You want to be outgoing and happy.
I asked you a few minutes ago to give us some advice for athletes and just in regards to employment. What would you say to employers and jobs and hiring anyone, whether they have an intellectual disability or not? What advice would you give to employers?
Just give them give people a chance. That's all they need. Just a chance in life to have a job. To get they get paid, get a paycheck or a pay stub, so they can have the opportunity to go to travel back and forth every day, so they can learn about a budget, like spending money on travel training.
I appreciate that. And I've seen some videos on you, man. You have no issue getting on and off the train and the metro and going to work. It must be real fulfilling for you just to be able to get up and go to work and have a job just like everybody else, correct?
Right.
That's cool. So let me ask you a question.
Go
When
ahead.
you're not working, when you're not traveling, when you're not competing as an athlete, when you're not looking at the calendar and memorizing everything, what are some of your other hobbies? What else are you doing, Ben?
I I I participate in a theater group one once a week every year through Art Stream. It's a theater group of people also with intellectual disabilities.
So you said it's a theater group.
Yes.
So what is that exactly? Are you guys acting? Is it skits? Is it
Yeah,
improv?
yes, it's a little bit. uh, we get together for 6 months. Then we put we put we put we do like blocking. We write the script, a storyline. Then we get a script to memorize the line and the blocking and the choreography. At the end, like in the we put a show in front of a live audience. We do a little acting, singing, and dancing.
So it's a little bit of everything.
Yes, a little bit of everything.
Is there one particular area that you appreciate more than others? Is it the singing? Is it the dancing? Is it the acting? Is there something that jumps out to you that you really like?
A little bit of everything.
That's it. There's not one more than the other.
No, I like to act. I like to sing and dance.
Okay, little singing. We're finding out more about you, Ben. Okay, a little bit of singing, a little bit of acting, a little bit of dancing, the photographic memory, is the work and the things that you've done. I'm thinking about all the sports that you've participated in. Is there one that you really like on that end as an athlete?
Hmm.
I saw you powerlifting, man. What were your totals? What were your highs in powerlifting?
My highest is 275 on the deadlift.
And then on a bench, didn't you do a bench as
Yeah,
well?
150.
Okay. You're really putting in some work. Swimming, track and field, bocce, powerlifting. Is there one favorite sport?
I've done a lot over the years, Jr. There's a lot more you miss.
Yeah.
I did golf. I did skiing during the winter.
So
And
is there anything that you would like to try going into the future?
I don't know. It's hard for me doing team sports. It's hard for me to see. It'd be hard to do team sports.
Nah, man, I think you've checked a whole lot of boxes up until now. For anyone who isn't familiar with Special Olympics, whether they have not been to an event or a tournament, what would you say to get somebody out and involved just to learn?
This, to come watch, to come watch a competition in your local area, state, or to come out and watch the area competition or state competition every year.
And what would you say to people who put limits on people or take a look at someone and think that they can't do this or they can't do that? What would you say there?
They don't know what they're missing. They shouldn't put people down and get because we can do anything we want to do. You put your mind to it.
And you've had the benefit of having the opportunity to do that, both as an athlete and as an employee with Special Olympics. You have a great team who have been some of the people that you've been able to work with and currently work with that support you in everything that you do.
I used to work with Mr. and Mrs. Shriver.
Awesome. Anyone else you want to give a shout out to?
I work closely with Megan, my supervisor, Megan.
Awesome. And how has that support system been for you?
It's been great. We go back and we meet once a week. We have like
Cool.
an update meeting like once a week.
That's awesome. And so after 32, 31 years,
31 this year, be 32 in November.
32 in November, after 32 years, having this job, having this, it's not even a job, man. It's a career. It really is. And so is there one workplace experience that really stands out to you where you were proud of everything that you've done?
I used to have a job. My first job started back in the spring of in 1988 when I used to work at the a button factory where you put like funny, but when people used to wear funny decal buttons, not on your coat, but when people bum in the stores, like that was my first job.
Your first job. And this one now, I know you feel so proud of it. Here, I want to put a I don't want to call it a button, but I want to put a bow on this conversation, man. Simple question. What does inclusion mean to you and why is it so important for society?
Include me. It should be just having fun. I mean, just being who you are, just being yourself, and try to do the best you can in life, sports, and in life, and opportunity.
Awesome. And why is that important for society? Why can and why should we do better, Ben?
Because people should society is a lot of it's a lot of hate. There's a lot of hate in the world right now.
Yeah, and we can all do better and should do better.
Yes, there's a lot of hate and violence in the world right now.
Yeah, we can certainly all do better. Well, let me tell you something, Ben. Having this conversation with you is pretty much, I think, is going to inspire a lot of people to not be down, to not put limits on themselves,
Right.
or to be down, man. So I appreciate that.
I got other hobbies that, to answer your. I do, and also I I also take part in. We do audio book club once a week. When we listen to a book, people a lot of staff come together and we listen to a book for 30 minutes.
Okay. Favorite book? Do you have one?
No, this like being with good people. We listen right now. We're listening to Holes, Holes. It was a
Okay.
Disney movie.
Oh, Disney movie. It's called Holes.
Yeah, it used to be it was a movie. Now we're listening to the book right now.
Okay. I'm a little bit. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm a little late on my Disney. I still think I'm stuck on Cinderella and Lion King. I got some catching up to do.
And also we trivia. We do trivia 4 times a year.
Okay. You like trivia?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Should I ask you a question, or do
What's
you
the
want to?
matter, man? You're afraid to stump me? Make it
No,
think you're gonna try to stump me,
no.
man.
I was gonna think. I was gonna say you should ask me a question. I probably don't know the answer. You want to pose a question to me?
Oh no, that's gonna be hard.
Oh wow. Okay. So you want me to ask you a question?
Okay. Who's playing in the Hall of Fame? Who's playing in the Hall of Fame game this year in the NFL?
I know the New York Jets are going to be participating. Are they taking on the Steelers?
Wrong. Close. It's a team in Ohio.
Oh, it's the Browns.
Yes, it's Cleveland and the Jets in the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be somebody in the AFC North. You're right. I was pretty close. See, I'm the sports guy. I knew half of it.
Yeah,
Let's
I'll give you.
see. Here's a trivia question for you. Is baseball an okay category?
Yeah, I know everything, Jr.
Okay, let's see. How many championships do the New York Yankees have?
26.
Oh man. Yep. Okay, let's go for another one, okay? You basketball okay?
Yeah,
Okay, let's see. How many championships do the Los Angeles Lakers have?
17 along with the Boston Celtics.
Okay, wow, here we go. Okay, we've gone football, basketball, baseball. So now let's go to hockey. You ready for this one?
Yeah,
Okay, hold on. How many consecutive titles did the Islanders win in the 80s?
4.
Okay, all right, Ben. Okay.
And
Okay.
after the Islanders, who ran with it after the Islanders?
Oh, that was the Canadiens.
Uh-uh.
No?
Edmonton,
Yeah, the Oilers, correct. You're right. I went to
the mid
Montreal.
80s.
You're right, Edmonton Oilers. You're correct. You're right. Oh wow. So here's one. I think I might have one to stump you. Who won the World Series in 1994?
Nobody.
My guy.
Strike.
My man.
Strike.
You're on it.
For me, my, I got some more questions for you, some more information for you.
Please drop it.
My mom was my biggest inspiration. She got me started with bocce.
Awesome. And so
And she
how
was
did
my
she do that?
there was a I used to do swimming and swim. It was every time it was so crowded in the lane. I had to stop and start and hold on to the lane rope. It was so crowded in the lane, and then the sport. I just wanted to try something new, and I've been doing bocce ever since.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Anything else? Anyone else that has inspired you?
I inspire me because I'm a living proof. Getting up every day and overseeing the odds with a visual impairment.
Man, you're inspiring yourself and you're inspiring others. Let me ask you this, Ben. With all of the information, I mean, we just went a little bit back and forth on a sports trivia. What or who got you involved in sports to even learn so much or remember so much?
I just watch them on TV.
Favorite teams? Any favorite teams? Are we going Baltimore teams? Are they going to be your favorites?
I don't know. They gave Lamar a big contract.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson's getting. Are you a Ravens fan?
I follow everybody.
Okay. Okay. I can't dispute that. It sure sounds like it. It sure sounds like it. So let me ask you an opinion piece then. Right? I want your opinion. I don't want a fact. So I talk about this on the radio quite frequently.
Right, you're on from 10 o'clock to 2 a.m.
You are 100% correct on the East Coast. Yes.
Right, on out of New York.
No, out of Atlanta. I'm in Georgia.
I thought you were in New York.
Yep, I'm from New York, but I'm in Atlanta. So let me ask you this. I love Oakland. I love Oakland as a city. I am unhappy with the fact that the Oakland Athletics are being moved to Las Vegas to eventually become, I don't know, the Oakland A's, not the Las Vegas A's, which I think is terrible. What are your thoughts on the A's moving from Oakland, where they have history, out to Vegas? What do you think about that?
That's going to be, a lot of people are not going to be used to that.
Yeah. I think they should keep them there, but it's not my money,
No.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, I don't think you have to worry about the Ravens moving. I don't think you got to worry about the O's moving. And Ben, I appreciate you, man. Like you said, you're an inspiration.
You see, JR, did you see it? They got and Now they got that Mr. Splash. You heard about Mr. Splash?
Mr. Splash? Where? What's that? No.
At Camden Yard, every time when the Orioles hit a home run or extra base hit, he sprays people in section 86 at Camden Yards. It's called Mr. Splash.
He's spraying them with what? Like water
Water.
balloons or a cannon? Like how?
He just sprayed them with water.
Wow. Have you been out there? You want to get splashed in that section?
No.
Yeah, neither do I.
I heard about his name is Mr. Splash.
Hey, Ben, you got to do anything you can do to sell tickets. And at least the Orioles are pretty good right now that I don't think they have too much trouble. Looks like they'll get back to the playoffs.
Right.
Good stuff. Well, Ben, I appreciate you for coming through and sharing your story.
I'm sorry about your grandmother passing.
Oh, well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man.
Family comes first sometimes, man.
Family comes first. But I'll tell you this, having a conversation with you and being able to share your story with other people I think is ridiculously important, because family is who you meet and who you know and who you love and how you share it with folks.
True.
And what you're doing is amazing, brother. So I wish you nothing much but more continued success, and just kudos to everything you've done up until now, Ben.
Thank you, JR. That was an honor meeting you today, my friend. That was a high honor.
I'm sure we're going to meet sooner than later the next time I'm up in the DMV, okay?
Cool.
My main man, Ben. Again, shout outs to Ben for all of his accomplishments, service, and for being an inspiration to others. I love it when he said he's beaten the odds and he's inspired himself. I'm going to think of a question to stump him the next time we connect. Thank you so much, Ben. If you want to inspire others and yourself, go to specialolympics.org to find out how and also where you can get involved. Your neighborhood, around the world, anywhere. I'm JR from CBS Sports Radio, and this is the Agents of Inclusion podcast, brought to you by Special Olympics and Odyssey. New episodes drop every Wednesday, but don't just follow and subscribe. Embrace others, help folks out, and be inclusive.